You ever hear the phrase, "What's buried doesn't stay buried forever"? Well, this is one of those stories. Not about a crime in the dead of night. Not about some forgotten treasure or ancient bones. No, this one's about water. A spring, actually. A quiet, sacred little spring, bubbling under a small American neighborhood until someone decided it was in the way. Let me take you to Heather Ridge. Quaint homes, trimmed lawns, picket fences. You'd never guess that under all that, there was a silent war brewing between nature, greed, and the truth. The HOA has voted to drain the spring behind Lot 47 due to safety concerns. That's what it said. Sounded responsible, practical. You know, adult stuff. Nobody asked the residents. No town hall. No open discussion. Just a dig crew. Bulldozers. Pipes. A week later, the spring, gone. Covered up like it never existed. Except, the ground remembered. At first, it was just weird. Miss Janine's tulip stopped blooming. Then Roger's basement started smelling like mildew. Then one night, bam. A sinkhole opened right under a backyard shed. The HOA said it was climate change, sure, but the rain hadn't changed. What had changed was underground. That's when Eliza got involved. She'd lived there for 22 years, knew every bird, every tree, every twist of that little spring. She started digging, not with the shovel, with paper, public records, permit filings, emails. And you know what she found? The geological survey that convinced the HOA to drain the spring. Fake. Completely fabricated. Signed by a man who hadn't practiced in over a decade. But wait, it gets worse. Turns out, the HOA president, Victoria Reed, had recently bought a big chunk of land right next to the spring. Draining it made that land buildable. You see where this is going? Residents started pushing back. Weekly meetings turned into shouting matches. Someone spray painted "liar" across Victoria's garage. And the ground just kept shifting. Literally, one afternoon, during a heated HOA meeting in Victoria's living room, the floor buckled. Water gushed through the tile like it was breaking out of prison. And oh lie. Nature had crashed the party. An investigation followed. Turns out, not only was the spring illegally drained, but HOA funds had been misused. Thousands spent on consulting fees to companies Victoria owned under different names. The town filed charges. Victoria, indicted on environmental violations, fraud, and misuse of public funds. Eliza, she became the neighborhood hero. Not that she wanted to be, she just couldn't stand the lies. It's funny, isn't it? People think they can bury things, truth, guilt, even water, but the ground doesn't forget. And sooner or later, what's underneath always finds a way to the surface. So yeah, lies may live beneath the soil, but truth flows. Weeks later, a lawsuit arrived. They wanted to fine us thousands of dollars for property violations. I felt like David against Goliath, but this giant had deep pockets. My sister flew in from Nashville. She reminded me why we fought so hard. This land's our legacy. We can't let them take it without a fight. Her words gave me strength. I contacted a local reporter. She agreed to cover our story. Suddenly, we weren't just a family fighting in HOA, we became a symbol of standing up against powerful interests. One night, I heard noises outside the barn. Flashlights, whispers. I peeked out, no one there. Was someone watching us? Intimidation. I wasn't sure, but I was scared. The next day, a few neighbors knocked on my door. They shared stories of similar fights, how the HOA tried to control everything. They offered to testify, stand with me in court. Against all odds, the judge ruled in our favor to keep the turbine for now. It was a small win, but it meant everything. We could breathe, just a little, in that moment. But the fight wasn't over. The HOA filed appeals, threatened more lawsuits. I realized this battle would stretch on for years, maybe decades. I felt angry, helpless, also determined. This wasn't just about wind turbines anymore, it was about justice, respect, and our right to live on our land. Some people ask why we don't just give up, but this land holds our memories, our history. We're standing firm because some truths, no matter how deeply buried, deserve to be told. After the court win, we knew the HOA wouldn't quit. So, we started documenting everything: emails, meetings, even the strange noises at night. Evidence would be our shield. We organized a community meeting. More neighbors showed up than I expected. People shared their stories, frustrations. It was clear this wasn't just our fight anymore. Local environmental groups reached out. They said our turbine was actually a good thing for clean energy. That gave us a new angle to fight back. One morning, we found the turbine vandalized, paint splattered, wires cut. It was a shocking blow, but it only made us more determined to protect what's ours. We started neighborhood patrols at night. Flashlights, walkie-talkies, all of us looking out for each other. It felt like a small army guarding our home. I began sharing our story online, videos, photos, updates. Support poured in from strangers across the country. Suddenly, we weren't just a small farm, we had a whole network behind us. The HOA lawyers filed new complaints. This time, they targeted the land itself, claiming it was improperly zoned. It felt like they were trying to squeeze us out completely. Our lawyer told us to stay calm and stick to the facts. He said, "This is a marathon, not a sprint," so we prepared for the long haul, one step at a time. Despite all the stress, the family grew stronger. We cooked meals together, shared laughs, and reminded each other why we fought for the farm and for each other. Some days were harder than others, but every sunrise over the fields reminded me we'd never give up. This land was our heart, and we were its guardians. One day, a local newspaper ran a story about our fight with the HOA. Suddenly, the whole town was talking. That kind of attention put extra pressure on the HOA to back off. Out of nowhere, a big environmental nonprofit offered to help us with legal fees and public awareness campaigns. It was a huge boost and reminded us we weren't alone. After the vandalism, we rebuilt the turbine with better security. We even added cameras and motion sensors. It felt like our little fortress in the middle of the farm. Some neighbors who had been silent started coming forward to support us. They'd seen what the HOA was doing and didn't agree. It felt like a small community revolution. Now, looking back, I realized this fight changed us. It made us stronger, more united. No matter what happens next, we'll always protect this land together. Just when we thought things were settling down, the HOA started pushing new rules, this time about how we could use our own property. It felt like they wanted to control every inch of our lives. We organized a neighborhood meeting to talk about the HOA's new demands. People frustrated but scared. We needed to find a way to stand up without risking everything. We reached out to a lawyer who specialized in property rights. It was expensive, but we knew legal advice was necessary if we wanted to protect our farm for good. We launched a social media campaign to share our story beyond the town. Suddenly, people from all over the country started sending messages of support and even donations. Through all the challenges, our hope never faded. Every small victory fueled our determination. This farm isn't just land, it's our heritage, our future, and we will keep fighting for it.